in the Cage Legacy Pro Featherweight division. The stage is set, the bright lights are on. Dublin, one more time, make some noise! It's time to go to war! Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. This man is a mixed martial artist, weighing in at 145 pounds, standing 5 foot 10 inches tall, with a professional fight record of 3 wins, 1 loss, and 1 draw. Fighting out of Ordi-Champion, Brazil, by way of Argentina, presenting Nicolas Cocuccio! And his opponent standing across the cage, fighting out of the red corner. This man is a mixed martial artist, weighing in at 145 pounds, standing 5 foot 10 inches tall, with a professional fight record of 7 wins with just 4 defeats. Fighting out of FAI, Northern Ireland, Decky
Ladies and gentlemen, you join us here for our main event. Richard Kiley, Noel O'Keefe, Phil Campbell in commentary, and there is always something special in the air when Decky Dalton fights.
And this is a short notice change of opponent as well for Decky, and he's fighting against a guy who's very experienced with a 3-1-1 record, but a dangerous opponent to take on short notice. Decky Dalton changes levels and looking for a big takedown and gets it.
Big dump double right there from Decky the Diamond Dalton.
The jiu-jitsu practitioner though is his opponent here, so he needs to watch. Nicolas will be looking, the Cobra will be looking to slither a submission on, looking for an arm bar.
Decky Dalton just taking his time here. And as we were saying earlier, when Decky's on, when Decky's focused, for me, he's one of the best in Europe.
If you look at the opponents he's fought and lost to recently, the Zach Zane and Brave 13 in Belfast, it was a very close fight up until the point of the finish. Jonathan Brookins, a former tough fighter and UFC fighter. Decky doesn't take easy fights. Speaking to him as well, he said he's added just a nasty dimension to his game. Training in FAI under Liam Shannon, and he's even brought the likes of Reese McKee, Joe McColgan into training. So he seems really focused and expect nasty elbows with that Muay Thai background.
Just doing the right thing here by posturing, looking to land nasty ground and pound.
Fully aware of his opponent's ground game as well. He doesn't want to rush into anything to present Nicolas with an opportunity for submissions. Dalton working the body. You can see Cocuccio, a beautiful sweep, looking for the neck there.
Decky doing the right thing by not leaving the head under the armpit, just puts it in the middle of the body, then moves it up.
You got to give it to La Cobra as well, flying to the other side of the world on short notice to fight someone of Decky Dalton. And that beautiful elbow, short range elbow, followed by hooks by Decky Dalton.
Oh, he's really got the bit between his teeth right now.
And again, stays calm, settles, doesn't rush. You would see fighters with less experience would rush there. His knee on belly position on the floor here.
I'd like to see him maybe land some hammer fist from this position.
Cocuccio is just looking for an arm as well. Decky fully aware of it. Just trying to make that elbow safe and get it out of danger.
Has to be careful not to try and pull the arm right out. Stack your opponent.
Arms out.
Good work from Decky Dalton.
Just looking to his corner for advice and landing some nasty right hands there.
If he had good success on the feet, I wouldn't be surprised if he stands up. That was a really nasty elbow that hurt Nicolas.
Dalton on top for most of this round.
Keep him busy the whole time is Decky Dalton, but he needs to be wary of the ground game of La Cobra. 2 submission wins to his name.
He's being smart here, Dalton. He's really watching what he's doing, and nasty elbows from top. You can see Cobra just trying to get wrist control. Big right hand landed there by Dalton. Heavy ground and pound, maybe looking for a neck of his own there.
Smash that right down, right through the middle, right through the defenses of Cobra.
And the roars of Decky go up around the hall here.
Just isolates the wrist. May look to land some serious ground and pound here, but Cobra always dangerous, rolling, keeping those hips active.
Just rolling, looking for any submission that presents itself. Dalton aware of that and tucks in.
I'd like to see Decky maybe drop some elbows here. He's very, very effective with the elbows. I'd like to see him drop some elbows here on Nicolas too.
Decky will be cautious as well. I bring it back to that Zach Zane fight. He was having success like this. If you cast your minds back, and he got caught in a scramble, so be aware. And
Nicolas is the arm.
Cobra threatening submissions constantly, very active off his back.
The Decky just remaining calm, keeping everything nice and compact, not giving his opponent any space to get that leverage on an arm.
Cash your mind back as well a few years. It looked like Decky Dalton might have to retire with sustaining injuries, so the fact that he's competing is a privilege that we get to watch and call. He's doing very well, Phil, in the transitions when he's rolling with Nicolas, that he's keeping safe. He's watching everything, stands him up with the 10-second clapper going, but a nice right hand just on the buzzer. But very interesting opening first round. Nicolas Cocuccio is came in and he's had some submission attempts, but it's Decky Dalton controlling the fight from top position, landing some good shots, but he does have to watch his P's and Q's as the submission threat is there.
As the fight goes on and as Decky perhaps gets more tired, those submission attempts are going to become more dangerous. I think Cobra is almost biding his time with him. Is going to let Decky expend a little bit of energy and then snap into it with some serious venom.
Clearing the cage. Be interesting to see what both corners. Unfortunately, we don't speak Spanish, I presume. Portuguese.
Poquito.
We speak Portuguese, and we do have Phil as a translator for the Northern Irish. But Decky, you alluded to it, Phil, when he's on, he's one of the best, and you can really see the focus in his eyes, and he knows. Speaking with him, he said, I'll change of opponent, let's see what he can do when he stands in front of me. So he's almost downloading the information as it's in front of him. But I have to say, I am impressed by the Cobra. Decky in on a takedown, but he telegraphed that a little, and
Nicolas was able to anticipate that a little bit and almost use the hips to pivot off.
Expect knees and elbows in this close range as well now by Dalton.
Nicolas with a knee of his own. Excellent knee by Decky.
Nice uppercuts on the inside as well. Just separates. Gets in on the body locked in.
Has those double underhooks. I'd like to see us get his foot on the outside of his opponent as opposed to in the middle, and use that as a pivot point to drag your opponent to the ground.
Just as you said it, Phil, Dex tried to make that adjustment.
Decky looks like he's almost thinking about using that knee as a shelf to trip his opponent.
Referee Decky Larkin just asking the fighters to improve positions or a bit of activity. Decky obliges with knees to the thigh, answered by Cobra.
Excellent technique. He's generating a lot of power off those knees.
Big head kick.
Big head kick.
Dalton wore it, but a big head kick by Nicolas Cocuccio. A spinning elbow
attempt.
Starting to own the toolbox now is the Argentinian.
Showing a real interesting repertoire of strikes here.
Just showing he's not just a BJJ practitioner.
Very impressive his level of striking.
Big takedown and dump there by Decky Dalton.
I see Decky go to work here inside the guard, but as I alluded to at the start of the round, he needs to be very cautious in this position. Can't be leaving an arm in, or I can't be giving Nicolas any trace of a submission.
And this is where we expect it. Little short elbows by Decky Dalton. And slice across his opponent's face and open up cuts. think credit has to go to both men as well, taking this bout on short notice against two real dangerous opponents. Both Decky Dalton wanted to remain on this card. Moves into half guard now, progressing his position, putting plenty of pressure down on the Argentinian. Drives for the underhook. He's going to try and use that to stand back up. Decky adjusts and stops it. Excellent awareness by both fighters, and try that sweep again, and triangle possibly here.
Needs to stack here straight away. Good posture from Decky. Rocks back on the heels and sets up.
Just goes to show the levels when you look at the amateurs and then it goes to the pros, how just quickly they can switch the hips and from a bad position be almost in a submission finishing moment.
I can see Decky cutting an elbow down from here, but again, there's that sweep. That sweep attempt.
Really adept at that sweep. He keeps catching Decky with it, but I think Decky's aware of it now.
The corner just pointing that out for Decky Dalton, just aware of the sweep and triangle was the call. I think Dalton might have been surprised by the striking of the Cobra there, and might be happy just to be in this position and land the heavy ground and pound and move his position and advance on the ground, trying to slice the knee across.
The Cobra using that knee on the hip there to control where Decky's going.
Nice elbows off his back from the Cobra too.
Momentarily, you've seen how good the groundwork was of Le Cobra there. When Decky had half guard momentarily, Le Cobra was able just to transition back in the guard.
And there's that sweep again, and Decky goes looking for a leg. Potential heel hook, and Le Cobra goes for it himself. That looks tight. Dalton escapes out of it. Bit of a scramble, and it ends up with Decky Dalton on top.
It's a really high level stuff on the ground here, guys.
The most haunting chant in MMA goes up. Really, Cocuccio, he's very, very active off his back and dangerous.
Just uses the hips so well just by shrimping out there and creating space for himself. That's something Decky doesn't want to leave.
Your 10-second clapper has gone. Come to the end of the second round. Bit of confusion at the end. I just don't think that the buzzer was working at the end there, but fighters separated. It's been a tough, hard-fought battle, and again, Decky Larkin clearing the cage out for our third and final round here in the professional featherweight division bout between Decky the Diamond Dalton and Nicolas Le Cobra Cocuccio. Our third round. Interesting to see the scoring here. You think Dalton has to be ahead 2 rounds here, surely, with the top game, but the danger of Le Cobra is there to be seen in each minute of every round.
I think those leg kicks are having an effect on the Cobra. He's just switching his stance there. Decky dives or shoots in on the double.
Decky in on a takedown, just right where his corner is. He's really going to want to score the takedown and have the position right where his coaches are. And on the double again. Great wrestling throughout the fight from Decky Dalton.
I think that's what he was talking about. He's added new dimensions to his game, and I think we're seeing it here in the ground game with Decky Dalton. Not that he wasn't ever versed. He jokingly said to me he still only holds a blue belt in jiu-jitsu, but he has shown excellent ground game and awareness as well of the attacks from Le Cobra off his back. It's all about watching.
Needs to be wearing the arm
as well. Quick switch of the hips by Le Cobra, and
Decky does the right thing by squaring off those hips, keeping himself parallel.
It's interesting really to see that the fight is predominantly played out here on the ground. I was half expecting a stand-up fight with Dalton, and of course the Argentinian maybe looking to take it to the mat, but we've seen that it's been Decky Dalton initiating the takedown, and again, as I said, this is a new wrinkle.
And that's probably an illustration of just how confident Decky is in his all-round MMA game right now.
I I think he also respects the stand-up of the Cobra too. Cobra showed he's no slouch in the feet.
It's a very good point, Richard. He's again with the change of opponent. Both these guys are probably only seeing each other realistically for the first time, so they're adopting as it's happening in front of them, which in itself is sensational skill. I'm not too sure. A lot of fighters like to do a lot of study, and speaking to you guys, do you like to study your opponent, or do you just have your own game plan and focus on yourselves?
No, I always study my opponent. I don't understand. If you have a body of knowledge there, I don't understand why people don't use it.
He's sitting in a nice position here, very similar to how you would have seen Daniel Cormier sitting on Derek Lewis recently. Allowed him to control him and land heavy shots and open up opportunities, and Dalton just trying to slice that knee across again. Expect some heavy shots from the top here. The Cobra does well, just it keeps getting great distance, and Dalton trying to again cut that knee across, and bit of a scramble for position. Both men very sweaty.
Decky just dives right back in. Needs to be wary here of even a potential go-go platter.
Traps that right arm and lands left shots of his own. Argentinian does well to get back to full guard.
Decky Dalton showing a real high-level MMA IQ right now. It's by not doing anything too dangerous, not by doing anything too ostentatious. Positional dominance and landing his strikes.
Vitally important as well. When you're watching the amateurs, a lot of people will say you're learning at that stage, but your record ends up on your headstone. So Decky Dalton is very aware how much he needs this win.
Nice heavy shots by Decky.
It's the Argentinian trying to walk Dalton down.
Dalton needs a big right hand.
Watch for the knees here. Dalton changes to that single, looking to drag it back to the mat again. Pick that ankle. Gotta watch his neck here. And the Cobra just trying to tie it up, but Dalton aware of it. Again, sitting in his half guard position, just can't seem to advance from this, and I think that's more so down to the defensive work as well of the Cobra, Phil.
Yeah, he's very astute. He's very well versed in the ground. But what I'd like to see Decky do here is almost push off the face and land those elbows that we know that he's so well versed in.
Head and arm triangle attempt here for Decky.
Has he got the space to step over into it? Has that cage, and he's just let it go.
The Cobra fully aware of it, made the adjustments to stop it. Dalton is known that the clock is ticking, so you might see a little bit of a rush here near the end just to put the exclamation mark on the third round. Tries to land that big left hand, and
Nice trading elbows off the flag.
you got to think we're going to go to the judges' scorecards, but you got to think the local favourite's going to get the nod here. A tough fight, and he was really up a game opponent. Excellent performance, and the ultimate respect right now going on in the cage with both men. Let's send it up for the last time to our judges' scorecards, and to me to announce the winner. Your MC, Noel O'Keefe.
All three judges scored this bout 30-37 for your winner by unanimous decision. Fighting out of the red corner, Decky Dalton. This is our applause for Nicolas Cocuccio. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here with your winner, Decky Dalton. Thank you. First of all, fantastic to see you back at the cage. Great to see you get the win. champion.